Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the Story Rift. So in today's video, I'm going to be discussing, how much should you read? I've been thinking a lot about this question, and today I thought I'd sit down and make a video about it. Now, the internet has changed reading. Obviously, now you can kind of see how everybody else is reading, when back in the day, you could see like people at the library reading, but you couldn't really tell, everybody's sort of diet, if you will, of reading. Sometimes reading can feel like a chore, especially with the internet. It feels like there's this constant need to read more and more. So I just wanted to sit down and, make a video and talk about my reading habits and some of the positives and negatives of the amount that you read. So as for my reading habits, it's kind of changed over my lifetime. I'm only 22. Yeah, so I had to think about it for a moment. But yeah, I don't know. When I was really young, I like to say that I was a reader. Like I would like speed read. I think I talked about it in another video. But whenever I would like speed read, I would just do it because I want to be known as a reader. I don't know why. I just like the sense of like people looking at me and be like, oh my gosh, he's reading, even though I didn't really like reading at the time. I only started reading consistently when I was in high school. I'd say I read about like a chapter a day. Like I discussed in a previous video, I was like really into Halo novels for a while. I still am. I'm trying to read through all of them. There's a lot of them. They are really enjoyable. But yeah, I didn't really read as much. Even when I did start getting back into reading, it was maybe like a chapter a day. And then when I started to write, I think I was like 17 when I first wanted to, started to write more like fiction stuff. And, I just really wanted to get more into the literary world, so I started reading more books. Writing and reading really do go hand in hand for me, at least. And it should be spoiler alert, just news for anybody. If you want to be a writer, by the way, you should probably read a lot. I know it's a big shocker, but I started to read every day. I think I was probably about like 19. I started reading every day because I read the book by Stephen King on writing, which if you guys haven't read that, if you're a aspiring writer or, even a published author, maybe, I don't know if you'd be watching this video if you're a published author, but if you are, I think that book is really good. It really teaches you a lot about, the writing craft in general. Sorry, I'm getting off topic. So yeah, when I was about 16, not 16, when I was about 19, I really started reading a lot like every day. I still wasn't reading a ton, but I was really starting to, keep a consistent schedule. Since I didn't read a lot, for a while in my youth, I feel like I really had to catch up with all the novels because, I really wanted to write fantasy and science fiction. So I was really trying to get in deep, with like Dune and all the classic sort of novels where I felt kind of behind because it was like everybody else had already read those. And everybody was kind of discovering something new at that point. So I think that was really a big incentive for me to read more. So when I really started reading was, funnily enough, when I started not looking at screens for an hour before bed. I can't really sleep very well, so not looking at screens really does help me. So yeah, obviously like one of the more enjoyable things you can do that's not on the internet or, looking at a screen is reading. So yeah, I read about 50 pages a night. I usually read for about an hour. I don't know if that's slow or not. I feel like I'm a slow reader, but I don't know. I would also read like 4 to 10 pages like every morning just to, I don't know, get in the mindset of writing because I usually write in the morning. Now, as for the positives of reading more, I think it's really beneficial to set a reading goal. This can really help you keep you focused because in today's, I guess not even just in today, but just, throughout all time, there's all these different distractions, be that life or, just other hobbies that get in the way of reading. So, setting a goal for yourself can really help focus you. And I find reading more, you can really get through more books, obviously, and in that way you can explore more, more in the genre that you're reading, be that like science fiction or just fantasy or romance, whatever you're into. It can really help to, if you're like stuck on a series, like say Wheel of Time, I really wanted to get through that quickly, right? Because it's like, while I was enjoying it, that's like 13 books that I could have been reading some other like series. Not that I didn't like the series, but just at that time, and I guess I still am, just trying to expand my horizons with reading. Having a good steady diet of books can also really help you to expand your knowledge of a certain genre and also, just keep things a little more fresh, right? You're reading more so that even, if you don't like a novel, you can keep, if you're actually a faster, spend time reading, then you'll get more books finished. I know this is might be simple stuff. I've recently started using Goodreads, and I know that's one of the more popular sites now where you can catalog your books and you can review them and stuff like that. And I've been really enjoying it. I think it's nice to kind of have just have a place where you can put down everything you've read and you can kind of see what you've been reading, and it can give you an idea of what you might want to read next. And also there's, recommendations on the site. I haven't really looked into the more social features of the app. I've just been more of the reading type. And personally, as a writer, reading more has really helped me to kind of expand my horizons, like I said, and also just show how different writers do, they have different pros and different ways that they write things, but not necessarily in a bad way. It can really shake things up and really makes novels unique. It can also be really fun just to keep a record of all your books. It kind of, seeing that number go up on your Goodreads list can be really exciting. I don't know, just like my monkey brain just keeps like, ooh, 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 ooh. I don't know. There's just something really satisfying about that. And I think that's like the positive side of Goodreads, I think. And also having a wish list can also be really helpful, obviously to keep you on track. And if you don't know what to read next, you can just look back at the list. Now we're going on the negatives. And the negatives, honestly, this is kind of more of a headspace thing. I wanted to preface this by saying that I'm not blaming a certain a certain type of reader. This is not what this video is trying to be. I'm just trying to remind people that reading is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be a chore. Focusing on how much you read and how much other people are reading, I think can really help. It can really make you feel like you're not doing enough, which is insane when it's you're reading to have fun mainly. I know there's people read for other reasons, but since this is just a fiction-based channel, I'm just going to focus on the fiction side of things. As a writer, I really feel this pressure as well, because it feels like, oh, everybody else is reading so much more than me, and I just need to, I need to catch up, or am I going to be a good writer and stuff like that. And I know if you're not a writer, you might not relate to this, but it is definitely a negative side effect, I think, of, the online discourse around reading. And, you'll see videos pop up of people this is what I read in a week, and it's 10 books, and you sit back what the fuck? Reading can start to feel like a checklist, and kind of it takes the fun and joy out of it, I think, and it really adds an unneeded pressure on you. I think some people can think, oh, I see all these people reading all these books and stuff, and I can only read a book a month or something. Then they think, oh, well, maybe I'm just not that into writing. And, it's not even the fault of the people online. It's just kind of how the human mind works, we don't want to be left out of things. And when we see something that's clearly, oh, we don't belong in that group, then we think, oh, well, maybe I just won't try it then. My brother has been getting more into reading recently, and, he'll always tell me oh, I only got read 4 pages this week or whatever, and he feels really bad about it. And I understand why. And part of it's, I don't think it's as serious as I think, he's not depressed or anything. It's just kind of something I'm cognizant of now, where it's yeah, there is this pressure to read more, but as long as you're reading, who cares, It's I'm just glad that he's finally, starting to read more books, since after high school, he doesn't really read as much anymore. While it's not their fault, I also think that, the videos of the bookshelf tour things can also really, negatively impact how people view reading. I think because they see all these books that they've read, which, not to be that guy, but I don't think everybody's read. I've seen some shelves, especially the color coordinated ones, where you ask yourself, do they really read those books? I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Seeing those videos can just kind of add more pressure to people to read and make you feel bad because you don't read as much as them. I don't know. I think there's a overconsumption aspect, which has infiltrated, I think, everything with the internet, because it's, the internet works in extremes. So yeah, it's just this constant need to collect books. And sometimes you wonder, if some people actually like reading, or if they just like looking at books on a shelf. But I like looking at books on a shelf, but I also read them too. So yeah, in conclusion, there's no right or wrong way to read. If you are one of these people who reads, I said, 10 books a week, don't feel bad. If you're somebody like my brother who only reads 4 pages a week because you have other things and you're busy, that's cool too. As long as you're reading, who cares how much you actually read? But at the same time, don't feel bad for setting goals. Don't feel bad that you're really trying to read a lot more than other people sometimes, and especially with the trying to get your Goodreads list up, you know, as long as that's coming from a place of like you genuinely like reading, so you read more, and not of a place of, oh wow, look at me, you know, I want attention sort of thing. But I don't think that's the case for most of it. I just think a lot of this, the bad and negative stuff about the internet with reading and, you know, like booktube and book talk and everything, is it's just like, is the mindset you get into when maybe you are somebody who doesn't read as much, and you kind of see it from the outside looking in, and you can kind of feel a little bad about that. I don't know, it's more of a mental thing for me. So yeah, I think my final message of this video is to just take a step back and actually enjoy reading and don't feel so rushed to like set this certain page, you know, page requirement or whatever a day. You know, just enjoy it more, because it is supposed to be, you know, at least if you're reading fiction. Like obviously if you're studying for college or something, that's, reading's not for fun, but I'm just talking about fiction here. But yeah, anyways, if you guys enjoyed the video, let me know in the comments below. You can also like and subscribe if you want. I plan on posting like one video a week, but I don't know, my life's kind of hectic right now, so we'll see, but trying to keep on that. So yep, without further ado, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.